Hey, hello? Hey, this is me, Marvin Lee, and I just finished watching Golden Girls, and there's a few episodes of Golden Girls that I just really enjoy and don't mind watching on repeat, or watch them just really any old time. One of the episodes are That Was Not a Lady. This was actually just looking to see what it is. Let's see, play. That Was No Lady. Let's see. Yep, That Was No Lady. And so... And so basically in this episode, Dorothy meets this gym teacher, substitute gym teacher, and she really likes him, and she kind of really falls hard for him initially, and they're having a good time, and then one of the times they're together, he breaks it down that he's married, and she's like shocked, of course, because she had no idea that she was seeing a married man, and she's just upset by it and distraught and just everything. And so she's like, you know what? This is not for me. And so she leaves him, right? Quote unquote, the right thing to do. And then, a day or two passes. She doesn't feel like going to work. She just can't stop thinking about him. And and she just, she wants to go back to him, but the whole marriage thing, that's just not her thing. She wants to be the other woman. And so her friends are like, hey, don't do it. The other one friend's like, well, maybe you should. And so secretly she decides to go back to date the guy. And then she kind of sneaks around with him for a little bit. And then they kind of talk to her friends some more about that stuff. Finally her mother was like, I want you, basically, you should have self-respect, for yourself and not to be somebody's floozy type deal. And so she thinks about that a little bit, and then finally, a day or two later, she, after meeting up with him, she's like, you know what, this isn't really life for me, and this is not the kind of life I want. I don't want to be the other woman, I don't want to be, the side chick or whatever, because you want to be married, and you won't leave your life behind, because you're afraid that if we don't work out, then you're going to be alone. And she's like, what, there shouldn't even be a point. If you really don't want to be married anymore, or you don't really love your wife like that anymore, you really shouldn't be with her, and you shouldn't be afraid, because, you'll be alone and blah, 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 Being with someone else should make it worth leaving that life behind if you really care about that person. If you love them like you say you do, right? It should be worth putting it out there, and just, that should be worth it, to move forward, not just kind of like try to have your cake and eat it too, basically. And she's like, because I know if I stick with you, I'm throwing away my future, the future I could have with someone that can be fully committed to me versus someone that can only be part-time committed to me. And she knew what she wanted, and that wasn't life for her. And she finally makes the right decision, which for her is that. And she walks out, and she realizes, she's going to hurt after that. But she also realizes that eventually she's going to move on, and hopefully find someone else that can fully commit to her. And this makes me think, it's a, I don't say like it's a super simple episode, but it makes you think about it. People go through that kind of stuff all the time. And I just like the storyline. It made sense, and it flows well, and I can just kind of feel like myself identifying with these characters, about how they feel about it. And me personally, I wouldn't want to be the side person. I mean, I think it sounds like fun and excitement. Ooh, cool. But I think you're asking for a lot of awkward situations, a lot of isolation, a lot of loneliness, because when you're the other person, and you really care about someone, you can't have them when you want to have them, because they have all these other obligations that they put in front of you to another person first. And so you're always going to come in second, and you're always going to get the leftovers. That's what you're going to get. Now, if you're okay with that, if you're okay with a non-full commitment relationship, or someone that's already seeing someone, that's fine. But I'm not. I wouldn't be a person, because eventually that's going to get old. It's going to get frustrating. Honestly, just being in a regular relationship with just one person, someone just seeing you, that can be frustrating by itself. But then trying to top on them, trying to see another person and you, that can be just putting like double time stress on yourself. Double trouble for yourself, So that's when you really think through if you want to be a part of something like that. And then what if it goes wrong? Anything go wrong in that situation, what if that other person finds out that you're dating them and them at the same time, and then if they're not in their right mind, anything could happen to you, mainly primarily. You might die behind something like that. You know, people do some crazy stuff. And so there's stuff to think about in the long term. Because stuff that seemed like fun at the time, when you think about it later, like, that might not actually been such a good idea. And so, I just love the episode. I just love the way it's acted. I like the way the storyline went. I just like how everyone's reactions in the storyline. And it's just a good episode to watch. I can watch this anytime. I just love that episode. I've always loved that episode, and always will probably love that episode. And that's kind of what I want to say about that. Golden Girls, Marvin, this is it.